So El Trumpo and JD Vance, they did their whole song and dance. It was great, blah, 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 along with their families, cute families. Side note, do we need to talk about how tall Barron is? And how powerful he is, and just how he's just hilarious to me. Ended their night at the Commander-in-Chief Ball with the troops. Okay, so one of the things, I guess what they do is they cut a cake, and this is a damn big cake. It had like an airplane on it. They cut a cake with swords, all right? So El Trumpo and JD Vance get these swords, and they're not like little baking or whatever, cake knives. It's a damn sword, like a Ginsu sword or a shogun or whatever the hell that thing is. Ginsu's a knife. And these two are starting cutting it out. And of course, YMCA comes on and El Trumpo starts dancing with the sword. Now, Jenna confirms that we're only going to play like 13 seconds of the song because I don't want to get it taken down. You need to watch. Even Melania gets into it, who she never does. And then major shout out to the female guard behind El Trumpo, because as I was watching this, I was laughing my ass off just looking at El Trumpo do his dance. But then I kept thinking, he's going to stab her because there's a female right behind him and he's doing the sword. He's doing like this. He's boom, like this. I'm like, he's going to stab her. And she's as stoic as could be. I don't know how she kept character and didn't start roaring. Jenna, play the video of El Trumpo dancing. Keep it going. Keep it going. Look at the guard. Look at the guard behind her. She's got to be like, what the hell is happening? Like right there. She's going to get stabbed right there.
See that.
You didn't see that?
No,
He starts around. God love him. It's going to stab her again right there. All right, Jenna. And then he gives her the sword. He's probably like, oh, Jesus, I didn't even know there was someone behind me. Here you go, honey. But so good. You hadn't seen that?
No, I didn't. I watched the executive signings, and then I don't know. That was probably at like 9.
Yeah.
And then Jen had to get up at 4, so we were like, let's go to bed. So I think we we watched some other stuff on Newsmax and some other stuff on YouTube, and then we were like, you know what? Let's just. I think about 9:30, 10 o'clock, we were like, all right, we're done. So I didn't
That's fantastic. Yeah, it was late because it was later here too. You know, you were 3 hours ahead of I am. Nana Mona says he can't dance, and no, that's the best part is he can't. He's you talk about confidence is the key. He's a terrible dancer, but God love him. He's out there. He didn't stab her, so that was a positive. Even Melania was out there getting her groove on. I didn't even see what JD Vance was doing. I was too focused on El Trumpo, making sure he wasn't stabbing her.
Speaking of Melania Trump, so did she look like? I read something today that was like, you know what? I always thought that Trump was the muscle behind this whole relationship, but after seeing Melania at the inauguration, like, man, that woman could have fucking froze people, dude.
Well, yeah, she looks like she's coming in with a vengeance because they just raided Mar-a-Lago, blah, blah, blah. And, Barron, when the first time he was in middle school, even high school. So they stayed in Mar-a-Lago a lot. She's already said she's moving into the White House. So she's going to come in hot.
Good for her.
Yeah, I agree. Nick Umble, where can people find you?
Nick Umble or UmbleN78 on X or sentinelstrength.net or Nick Umble or Sentinel Strength on YouTube.
Fantastic. Nick Umble, always great to see you, my man. I appreciate it.
Oh, hey, before we go. So did you see the addition? My wife, for a Christmas gift, her employees got her a Marcus Mariota signed jersey. That's her favorite player.
Okay.
So she had it framed. She spent like 2 hours framing that thing up. And she's like, where are you going to put it? And that's where she wanted it. So it was in every episode if I start doing podcasts again. So it will be there. That's her guy, right? That was the first year we had season tickets when we were dating at Oregon. He was the
Okay, you want to hear a great Marcus Mariota story?
I'm good for it.
Okay, so I was running Oregon's camps back 15 years ago when NCAA would allow me to run them. And they always give a tour to the kids. You do on the field from 8 to 11, 11 to 12. You have lunch, 12 to 1. You get a tour of the facilities. All the kids love it. We're going through their like leisure room where there's ping pong and pool tables and all that, blah blah blah. And all the kids are lining up, and this guy sitting on the couch stands up, and everyone's like, "Oh!" And I go, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Because when I watch football, I watch just fourth downs." And they're like pointing down to the coffee table, and there's a Sports Illustrated, and Marcus Mariota's on it. I go, "Okay." And they're like, "That's him." And he had just won the Heisman or whatever, high up, and I had no idea who he was. And he was literally standing right next to me, like literally shoulder to shoulder. And I go, "Oh, you're that dude?" And he goes, "I'm that dude." And he was like, he was laughing because I was like, I didn't give two craps because I didn't know who he was. But on that note, he was a super, super, super nice guy, just not overly big. So he's not a long snapper. So what the hell do I know? If he was threw the ball upside down and backwards, I probably would have known him. But so that's my Marcus Mariota story. And he was super nice. He took pictures with all the kids. I thought it was funny.
Well, since the Washington Commanders were ripping my team, the Detroit Lions, and Jen's favorite player is Mr. Mariota, she was sitting there very carefully choosing her words during that football game because she was like, I can't believe, but he might get there. So apparently we're rooting for the Commanders this weekend.
I got you. Nick Humble, peace out, my man. Thank you.
Later, man.
On that note, don't forget 9 o'clock. So an hour and a half